Hey, what's up, y'all? Oh, hi, I'm a back. Hey, Justin. Oh, okay, you're back. You get it, I get it. All right, you guys, so I graduated DPT school and I just want to share some of the biggest lessons that I've learned while going through DPT school. So I hope this video teaches you how to grow as a student, how to avoid some pitfalls of DPT school, and how to maximize your experience. All right, you guys, let's get into it. You wanna do it with me? Okay. Lego. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back. For those of you guys who are new here, my name is Justin Lee, Doctor of Physical Therapist. Here you'll find videos on fitness, physical therapy, and lifestyle that helps inspire self-change. I truly believe that lifting not only weights, but also each other can help empower greatness and encourage excellence. So whatever journey that you're in, whether you're in DPT school or your fitness journey or your student journey, I'm here to lift you up. Change people, change people. That's why we live for change people. If any of this resonates with you, feel free to subscribe and hit those notifications. Okay, so we're just gonna get into it. So I've been thinking really hard about what kinds of things that I would say and some advice that I would give when I got into PT school or just throughout PT school or even before PT school, so I can anticipate that. So I broke this down into 6 different things, okay? So we're just gonna go through them, all right? As usual, everything, I have the descriptions of this video, and there's a lot of content there in the descriptions. And I also have timestamps. So if you're like, I want to just go through some of the different topics, you can always click it, and then you can click it there and it'll just take you into that video, all right? All right, you guys, let's get into it. Okay, so the first one, learning about yourself. So I think this one is probably gonna be the most valuable for those of you who are students and those of you who are going into DPT school thinking, all right, like this is the next step for the rest of my life. I'm entering this school, this study so that I can get my career going, right? And as you go through that process, there's actually some things that you don't really anticipate that you're gonna go through, and some things that you are learning about yourself. And so because the schooling is so rigorous, right? You have all of that knowledge going on to you and all of those teachings, and you learn that during the day, you study at night, and you go to the lecture the next day, and then it's just a routine. You have to start learning about how you study. So that's gonna be a really big one that I really wanna talk about here, is how you study. You're gonna learn how you study. This is important because everyone studies a different way. So that means if you see a classmate study like with a group of people, that doesn't mean that you study that same way and you are maximizing your studying, okay? So for example, usually studying is broken down into 3 categories. You have your audio, right? So if you could listen, you're a good listener, and then you kind of learn that way. You are a visual, so pictures, colors, things like that, or kinesthetic. So you have to kind of write, you have to do flashcards, all of those types of things. So you should try to think about, or you can look it up, and then you should try to figure out which type of learner are you, because wherever you fall on that scale, you should try to maximize your studying and your habits there, okay? So let me just give a quick example. I asked my wife about this too, am the worst listener. It's so hard for me to listen, and I try really hard, of course, right? But I'm trying, and I practice solar, right? Solar, and then I'm engaging. But listening is not my best. So whenever I listen to lectures, I'm just like, oh, this is so boring. But then what I'm more of a visual and a kinesthetic learner. So what I'll actually do is in class or in lecture, or when I'm going through back in my notes, I will actually write down some of the notes that is said in lecture, and then I will highlight in different colors. And so when I go back, I know that when I highlighted in pink, that was very important. And then I see the picture that's next to it in the slide, and then I see all the information there. And then so that's how I'll be able to recall some of my information. So however you learn is super important. So those of you guys who are listening right now and you are already figured out what type of learner you are, put it in the comments. I want to see which one you are. Okay, so a couple more things about learning about yourself. The second thing is I want to talk about re-energizing. This is important because you're exerting yourself every day as a student, right? You're exerting yourself every day when you're with a bunch of friends. And so you have to figure out how do I recharge? Okay, and that looks different for some people. Some people recharge with exercise. Some people recharge with hanging out with friends. So you have to figure out which one is you, because if you're not recharging and you don't have like me time, you're gonna be on high alert and you're just gonna burn out. And then you're gonna be like, I have no time because I'm so tired, because I'm trying to study, I'm trying to hang out with people, I'm trying to figure out, should I listen to my lectures or anything like that, okay? So figure out how you can energize. I want you to learn. If you already know how you energize, I want to hear that in the comments as well. Okay, got it. Study, re-energize. All right, so second lesson. Don't sweat all the details. In school, you're gonna be pushed with the weight of the knowledge of physical therapy school at a doctorate level, and it's just gonna be like smashed in your brain, okay? It is impossible to remember all of that information. Are you serious? Like, it is impossible, okay? So, don't sweat all the details. You gotta learn the concepts. And I even witnessed this too in my class and the other classes. Some students will try to memorize every last detail, every last symptoms, and it's like, and I've seen their quality of life, and I was like, man, you are pretty stressed. And then so at the end of the day, it's like, I'm gonna pass the test. You stress about every little detail and you're gonna pass the test. And at the end of the day, what happens? We're still all DPTs, you know? You know, it's like, it's not worth stressing over every little damn detail to decrease your quality of life, okay? And so this is just the one tip that I wanna give in this area. And that's just like, you want to just learn concepts. So it's like, what I mean by that is like, you want to, if you learn every little thing, and there's a time to do that, like if you're in your anatomy course, like yeah, you're gonna have to know every little point of the origin, insertion, nerves, all of that. But when it comes to the other classes, you gotta learn the concepts of like, okay, so if these are the symptoms, like why is that happening? And then you kind of learn like what's happening on the systemic side, and then you're like, oh, that's why. It's because the heart is not pumping out enough blood, so that's why you're getting these kinds of symptoms, right? And so, and then there's like different types of diagnoses for those symptoms. So you just gotta learn the concept of the heart, and then now you already know like what the symptoms are going to be. The third lesson that I have for going through DPT school, and that is something that I wish someone had told me before about, like if I would have maximized this, I think I would have been such a better therapist starting off if I had practiced this. And that is soft skills. Soft skills are super important. And if you do not know what soft skills are, you should look it up, but I have some examples for you. It is knowing how to listen to your patient and be compassionate to what they're going through. It is being able to read that nonverbal communication, that nonverbal behavior, and adjust your treatment or your plan of care. It is providing positive vibes and encouragement so the patient is comfortable. It's patient-centered. Patient-centered. But soft skills can also mean that if you have an accent, it might kind of rub people the wrong way. So you might want to get that checked out. Das ist so messed up. Okay, number 4, the power of movement and sustained postures. So of course, going through DPT school, we are going to learn a ton about the musculoskeletal system, the nervous system, soft tissue, just everything about the human body. And what I've learned is that if you are moving wrong, and if you have these postures that are just not optimal, and you're sustaining that for a long time, that's gonna lead to so many effects. So for example, if we just had moved more as a society, we would not have as much diseases like obesity, hypertension, we have diabetes, all of those things, and there are so many even more comorbidities along with obesity or people being overweight. And if we just have moved more as a society, which I think we are doing less and less because everything is becoming more convenient, right? We even have now Grubhub, and we have people that are delivering to us. We have drive-thrus, all of those things to just decrease our movement. Like, it's crazy. This world is like trying to kill us or something. Anyway, so if we moved more, we would make such a big difference. And as I went through school and as I learned like how movement will help mobility of joints, it will help the elasticity of the muscles and the surrounding joints around it like that, I just realized like, man, movement is like super important. And then on the other side, you also learn in school how if people don't move, like if they're bedbound, every single day that they are not moving at all and they're just staying in bed, they decline significantly. It's crazy. And I've witnessed that myself. Patient comes in and it's like, okay, I see them kind of walk. They just stay there. They're not motivated and they want to stay in bed. A couple of days later, they're like shaking to get up. It's crazy. So I learned that movement and posture is super important. How's my posture? All right, next. So another lesson I learned is the power of what strength can do for you. Now, this is what I mean. I've learned through physical therapy school through the body that if a tissue, or if your body, let's just say, is not strong enough to withhold the demand of whatever activity you're trying to do, whether that is sitting, that's a demand, or a sport, that's a demand, that's placed on the body, that's gonna cause you pain, or that's gonna cause you to overexert or compensate somewhere else on the body. So how do we fix that? If you were just strong enough, right? If you were strong enough to withstand that type of stress or that incident, then you wouldn't have an injury or you wouldn't be hurt. So I realized the power of strength, and this is why I am so adamant about lifting, like lifting weights, lift for a change. Like, it's so crazy. It's not only just like for looking good, you know, but it's also like you're lifting weights for literally a change in your life because you are building that strength of your muscles so that you can prevent any injuries that happen to you later on. And that's why going to the gym or any kind of exercise, group fitness, any of those is great. As long as you just keep moving, it is just, the power of it is like, it's crazy. All right, last lesson. I've learned that you should just laugh at yourself a lot. I'm gonna hate myself when I edit this. Oh man, I mean, I know I laugh at myself a lot on these YouTube videos, and as I'm editing them, I'm watching myself and I'm like laughing in the back screen. But I guess if I can make myself laugh, I can make someone else laugh too, right? That's kind of weird. And that is the last lesson, is laughing at yourself and then learning from your mistake. You're gonna make a ton of mistakes in PT school or even going up into it when you're in, like even your prerequisites. And it is so important to just have that open heart and say, ha ha ha, like, okay, I made a mistake. That was funny. Like, okay, all of that. All right, now let's evaluate this. Let's reflect and figure out where did I go wrong? And then what can I do better next time? And so having that mindset and learning that if I harness that mindset, it took me so far, and I really hope that somebody had, or I wish that someone had told me that when I was getting into DPT school. All right, y'all, so 6 lessons that I've learned from going through DPT school. These things are just dear to my heart, and I can just explain so much more and go into so much more detail in all of those different things. But those are the things that I was able to think of as far as lessons learned of going through DPT school. But as usual, if you have any questions or if you need any help, please feel free to comment below or message me or email me. And again, you guys, thank you so much for all your support, all your likes, all your comments, all your love. 2020 is going to be a big year, and I'm really gonna lean on you guys, my fam. So I hope this video helped inspire some self-change to maybe be a little bit more intuitive about how you learn, how you engage with others, or maybe even more reflective about, what soft skills can I develop? How can I communicate better? How can I listen better? How can I be more compassionate? All right, so y'all, thank you so much for tuning in. I love y'all so much. Change people, change people. That's why we live for change, people. Stay lifting. Have a great one, you guys.